We're talking with the Professional Organization of Women next on City Corner. I'm Sarah Thompson, and welcome to City Corner. Today we're talking with the Professional Organization of Women. You've probably heard of them. They go by POW as well, and they're an organization that helps professional African American women here in St. Louis. Thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
So we were talking POW, Professional Organization of Women. I know a lot of people have heard about this organization over really almost the past decade, but tell me a bit more about it. I guess we'll start with you, Stephanie, and then Rolanda, you can tell me a little bit about the history.
Sure. So our organization was established in 1997, so this is our 16th year, so we kind of feel like a little bit of an adolescent as we go through, as we continue to grow. We've been established here in St. Louis, and we are a more regional, local organization, nonprofit. We are tailored towards African American women and helping them with their professional development. That's really what our organization is about. And Rolanda is actually one of our founding members, so she has a lot of the detailed history as it relates to how they came about and the other women that helped establish the organization. Okay,
so Rolanda, how did it come about?
You know, I love to tell the history of POW because it is really a call to action. The founding members, and it was 6 of us, we actually met at a tea party. And it was all around professional development. And one thing that we realized during this tea party is that we have one thing in common, which is we all wanted to leave St. Louis. Most of us had, we were in a master's level program or had recently graduated from a master level program. And we said, gosh, we didn't think that our talents would be embraced in St. Louis. So we said, you know, most of us wanted to leave, you know, for greener pastures, as they say. We're looking at Chicago and LA and New York and Atlanta. And we said, well, while we're here, what can we do to improve the situation? Because when we looked at it, a lot of the more well-known regional corporations did not have diversity programs in place, and we didn't see people at the top that looked like us. We saw that in corporations in other cities, and so we said, well, while we're here, why don't we develop or start an organization that's dedicated to bridging that gap, bringing corporate professionals, recruiters in to meet with minority professionals. So that was essentially our first mission. And that was in 1997. Okay. And then in 2001, we actually changed our mission to be more laser-like focused on African American women. So our mission today is to empower African American women to learn, lead, and succeed.
So what is the criteria to be, I mean, we're saying professional women. Do you have to have a certain amount of a master's degree, as you mentioned, or do you have to have a certain amount of time established in your career?
No, you definitely don't have to be a master's education. You don't have to have a college degree, but what we're looking for is individuals that are wanting to develop themselves. So even if you're a student, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in corporate America, nonprofit, this organization is still meant for you. So it's an area where you can come in, learn transferable skills, soft skills, as well as technical skills in a safe environment. So you don't have to be a certain level within your corporation or education in order to join.
And so tell me about some of the events that happen throughout the year, because we do have some events that are coming up this fall.
Absolutely.
But tell me about just when you do get together, what sort of takes place?
Sure. So off the top of my head, there's 3 major events that we focus on. First of all, our signature events. Like you said, something upcoming is our professional forum, which is a community outlet for our organization to present panelists to the community to talk about a trending topic. And this year we'll be talking about change. Another signature event is our upcoming scholarship breakfast, which is in honor of Miss Frankie Muse Freeman, who's another big trendsetter here in St. Louis, in which we offer non-traditional students an opportunity to earn a scholarship to finish their education, because education is important. thirdly, we also have our professional development series, which we call our Advancing Success series, which is open to all of our members as well as the public at a nominal fee. That way they can learn those transferable skills in a safe environment, like we said.
So what do you feel when you get together and you have these, whether they're empowerment sort of get-togethers or the scholarship breakfast, but are there sort of general trends, challenges? Let's talk about what it is to be an African-American woman,
Sure,
professionally aspiring to a certain career. What are some of the challenges or some of the discussions that come up? Because I mean, let's be honest, there are some real obvious ones. There is a glass ceiling to a certain extent, but let's talk about what comes up at some of the meetings.
So from a topic standpoint, as Stephanie shared, that we have this Advancing Success program. That's one of the major benefits that we offer our members. So we haven't talked about this, but membership fee is $75, and our members get over 20 hours of professional development training. So we sort of look at the organization as workforce development as well. But some of the topics that we cover are time management, work-life balance, salary negotiation, communication savvy, some of those soft skills that we know are preventing some of our members even, and some of our constituents from moving up in the workplace. So we are targeting what we would consider needs in the community.
And so when you talk about sort of negotiating salary, do you think that these are things that are particular to women in the workforce, particular to African American women in the workforce, or really just in general what it is to be a working individual and things that you have to come up with in your career anyhow?
Absolutely. Statistics indicate that women as a whole are making about 70 cents to a dollar for what every male is making. So we're making anywhere from 25 cents to 30 cents less than our male counterparts. And I really believe, having worked for major corporations, that really has to do with how you're communicating. What are you negotiating? Are you accepting the first offer, or are you really negotiating based upon your skill set, your experience, and your education?
I think an interesting, I was mentioning sort of earlier just kind of challenges. I think that an interesting topic that I feel isn't necessarily covered by media but comes up in social circles is that, it's hard enough to get your foot in the door, let's say at a Fortune 500 company, or to get a certain position. But then what even further is the challenge that I think a lot of African American professional women feel is that there might be someone who's gotten their foot in the door, but that door shuts after they get in. And it's like how we sort of help each other. Do you think there's a competition factor? Do you think that there is a not competition, but a difficulty to, once you've made it to a certain extent, to bring others who, into that company or into that echelon, if you will?
I think we have an opportunity as African American women, as well as in our organization, to teach individuals those skill sets. So being able to know that you need to be on time, knowing that you need to be able to work with your time management, and being able to start a project and really finish a project at a certain time. What's important is, with those transferable skills, you can take that to work and say specifically, this is what I can do in order to, in a sense, build your brand at the office. Building your brand in the office will help you get past kind of that top ceiling, if you will, that helps you progress in your career advancement and on the job, be it Fortune 500 company or elsewhere.
And in addition to that, we really do, I would say, encourage our members to help others, right? So we are professionally developing our members. So we're helping them, share the love, share what they're learning with others in their corporations. And we also work with those individuals, minorities as well as majority, I would say, seasoned professionals, to help our members learn, lead, and succeed. So, I have heard that there are folks who, they might be the first African American, the first Latino in a particular position, and, some people may feel threatened if they help someone else. I haven't really experienced that in corporate America, and I really haven't experienced that to a large extent in St. Louis.
No, that's excellent to hear. I want to throw something out there when I was thinking about this. With President Obama in office and Michelle Obama as the First Lady having a corporate background, do you think that has changed the perception of nationally and even really internationally of African American women in the workforce as, you know, corporate lawyers or in a certain area. Do you feel in the past, you know, 4+ years that there has been an overall change or perception that we could attribute to the First Lady? Not so much? Or?
I definitely think on a personal note, of course. I mean, anyone from a public figure that can really provide another level of anyone that can provide another insight to African American women as a whole. What First Lady Michelle Obama has done is help the image of African American women. Typically what the media has shown is that African American women, number one, can't get along with one another. They are always angry, upset about small, minute things. And really, First Lady Michelle Obama has been faced with some things where she could have easily gotten angry, but she's handled it very well. She's handled the pressure and some of the stresses as a First Lady very well, which helps the image of other African American women. And in our organization, that's also what we help to do. As Rolanda stated, the opportunity to meet other cultures or other professionals, be it of the majority or the minority, is an opportunity that we offer as an organization. And one way we do that is through our professional forum. We'll have the silent service auction, which offers the opportunity for the community at large and our PAL members to bid on St. Louis professionals of majority and minority in the community.
And if I could further that, I think that is one of the unique aspects of PAL. It was actually the silent service auction is what it's called, was one of the concepts brought on by one of our founders. And it's one of the things that brings people to our events. If you can bid on 1 hour of the time, you know, with a seasoned professional, the mayor, the county executive, why wouldn't you?
Right.
And the opportunity to sit across and learn from an individual like that is priceless.
No, that's really excellent. I want to learn more about some of the members and what their backgrounds are, what they are doing professionally, so that people who might hear this at home, that they can, you know, if they're interested, get in touch with POW. So we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to have more with POW, with Rolanda and Stephanie, so please stay with us after this break.
Financial advisor is being accused of committing one of the largest investment frauds in the history of the United States.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I've done nothing. Uh-oh. Okay, I stole a cheeseburger once. I'm a dog.
For those dealing with the struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for advice and support.
Over 13 million people are affected by famine, war, and drought in the Horn of Africa.
Make a simple text donation of $10.
But do more than donate. Forward the facts.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Hi, I'm Sarah Thompson, and welcome back to City Corner. Today we're talking with the Professional Organization of Women. I'm joined by Rolanda Jasper, Emeritus board member, and Stephanie Davis, who's a current member. So tell me, I want to, we were talking in the first half just about the organization, some other topical things, but really when we talk about membership into this organization, you mentioned it's a $75 enrollment fee, but who are the members? What type of industries are they coming from? Are they small business owners? Are they independently self-employed people, corporate? I just want to know kind of the full spectrum.
Sure. So what I'm proud to say is we have a wide gamut of membership from various industries as well as various types. So from individuals that work on the nonprofit world, corporate arena, as well as entrepreneurs. And what's important about our organization is that it fits everyone. I don't know anyone that's an entrepreneur that cannot utilize time management skills, or anyone in corporate that can't utilize time management skills. So that's some of the professional development opportunities that we offer, which again are transferable across industries.
Did you have anything to?
No, I think that's great. She's right on with that. I mean, I would say that the membership is around 60 to 70% corporate.
Okay.
And the other will fall under entrepreneurial as well as nonprofit.
But because you're saying it's workplace development, that's something that anyone can benefit. I'm curious, just sort of your sources of inspiration, because I was reading some articles the other day just in preparation for this, and it was looking at Fortune 500 companies, and it was saying that the only black female, as of last year, CEO out of 12 female Fortune 500 CEOs is the director or the CEO, Ursula Burns, of Xerox. I was curious, do you find within the business sector, are there, with what you both do respectively, are there sources of inspiration or people that you aspire to be like, or that they've sort of chartered a path that you think is admirable?
I can definitely speak for myself and say yes. As being an implant to St. Louis, so that means that I'm not from St. Louis. So you asked the high school question, I will tell you something that you won't know. And what's important about that is that there are several African American women, just people in general, that are very important and powerful here in St. Louis. They have made their beginnings from minute beginnings and have been very successful so far. One example of that is someone on our board, Gail Thomas Taylor. Gail Taylor. She's done very well for herself at the corporate company that she's at right now and working in marketing. And so as I look at her and I notice some of the things that she's worked through, it's just inspiration for me to say, okay, I'm dealing with a few struggles here. There's some areas of opportunities that I need to make on my own. So how can I do that? And thankfully she's on our POW board, so I can actually ask her some of those questions and touch base with her and get that honest feedback and take the feedback as necessary.
I will echo that. Gail Taylor is actually one of our charter members. That means that she helped us form our nonprofit status in 1999. And so, being a peer of hers on the board, I am always in awe of her myself. But a lot of our board members I am in awe of. And I really appreciate our board members taking the time, because it's work in POW, right? To give back in this way. And I will say Ursula Burns, isn't it, at Xerox, although I've never met her, I was so inspired to hear that she was an African-American woman leading a huge Fortune 500 company. But it's all about, for me, it's giving back to the community and being able to make a positive impact. And that's what is at the core of POW as well. So not only do we believe, career advancement is very important to, to a person's lifestyle and well-being, but we also believe that giving back to the community is at the core of that. You can't be successful, you can't be a leading member of this community if you're not giving back to the community.
What would you say is some of the best, speaking of career advice, what would you say is some of the best career advice you've received, whether it's been from a board member or just in your own personal, personal lives?
Sure. So here recently it's been more learn how to focus on the job at hand. So trying to eliminate some of the exterior things. Yes, you need people in the workplace, you need your cohorts, your co-workers, as well as other business partners. But when it comes to the things that you are responsible for, focus on that and not worry about what everyone else is doing, be it good, bad, or indifferent. Focus on what you have at hand, work it well. Take something that you feel is not all that great, you might have feel like it was a busy task, and return it 100 times fold, as excellent as you can, which just makes it all the much better for the organization.
Okay, no, that's good.
And I would say, do whatever job you have, do it well. Do it better than anyone else. Become an expert at it. And always set your sights on bigger and better things, but where you are currently, do the best that you can and be the best. Whether it's a janitor or whether it's CEO, be the best that you can be.
No, I think that's great advice. There was a study that came out, or I should really say a survey, and what it was basically saying was that, I'll read you some of the information that came out of it. It was from the Kaiser Family Foundation and the Washington Post, and they surveyed 800 African-American women, and they said more than 2/3 of black women say that having a successful career is very important to them. And it goes on into all the stuff, saying also told 68% of black women say it's very important to them, compared to 45% of white women. And I think when they looked at these statistics, it was going more and more about more African-American women working. Unemployment rates actually it was further information was of unemployment rates that African-American women, it was dropping faster than other groups. And what it shows is that African-American women are working, careers are important to them. I wanted to ask you, in your personal opinions, what you, though, feel the difference is between having, what that says to one is that there's also the necessity to work versus career satisfaction and having the ability to work in a specific career. And I was just curious, in your discussions with other members and your thoughts on your own, where you see those distinctions between having the ability, whether race plays a role in that or not, or your gender, to pursue a career, but also having the need to work. Because let's be honest, yes, a lot of African-American women have historically been working, but it's a lot of times because they have to.
Right. I think personally, work is a necessity. I mean, we all need it. We need to have a vehicle, transportation. We also need to have a roof over our head. But what's important for our organization and being able to provide to the community is teaching them that work-life balance. So being able to teach them, again, those transferable skills, those skills that you may not learn automatically from the job, and also teaching them what it's like to be able to relax, make that time for yourselves. As much time as you schedule for work, schedule a significant amount of time for yourself, be it your family, your own personal time, time with your friends, and as well as spiritual time. And that's one of our going themes this year, is the work-life balance piece. And so we've had that opportunity to speak with our members regarding our professional development, because we teach work-life balance as it relates to time management, as well as we'll have someone from the spiritual side and psychological side coming in to speak to our members to let them know you need time for yourself. It's necessary for your health.
Absolutely. Was there anything that you wanted to add to that?
You know, I would say that we are definitely honing in on that with our non-traditional students, where we provide scholarships to them. And we're helping them understand that, yes, a job is a necessity, but definitely we can help you with having greater job satisfaction. Right? And just working through, some folks, they'll get a job and they hate it, right? And it's just working through that with them and helping them understand you can find a job that you want to go to. And we help a lot of our non-traditional students, as well as our entry-level, I call them entry-level members. So members who are in PAL, but they have entry-level positions at their companies, right? And so we really do work to help, our members and our constituents understand the importance of loving what you do.
Okay, no, that's fantastic. Well, before we go, I want to talk about, just one more time, remind people of this 14th annual, the 2 events that we have coming up. Just briefly tell me again, what can people expect at the Professional Forum, the 14th annual Professional Forum?
Sure. So at the Professional Forum, the community will have the opportunity to speak and hear from our panelists, our professional panelists. We will have 4 panelists discussing Grow Deeper, how to cultivate your roots of success. And ultimately what that means is we want to talk to individuals and let them know, hey, change happens. It happens personally and professionally. So how can you cultivate your roots or have those key foundational things to be able to be ready for change when it occurs? If you're being let go from your job, do you know that networking is a key in order to find another role? Are you practicing that ahead of time before that even happens? So we want to have those discussions with our community and allow the community to have that discussion with the panelists, and also offer that community outreach to executives in the St. Louis area that they may not have access to through our silent service auction.
Right. No, and it's wonderful because it's a free event
It is
at
a
the
free
Missouri History
event.
Museum. And then on October 18th, in Sunday, that's the Professional Organization of Women's Scholarship Breakfast.
Yes.
Just tell me again just a bit about that.
Sure. So as Rolanda stated earlier, one of our community outreach pieces is offering scholarships to non-traditional students. And who that looks like is someone that's going to earn their bachelor's degree, but has had, for whatever reason in their life, had a shortcoming in which they needed to wait a little bit longer. So they have to raise a family, they have other things that might have come up. So it's an opportunity for them to earn a scholarship and go back to school, get the education, because it's so vital in order to go back to work.
Okay, no, that's great. That's taking place Sunday, October 18th at the Renaissance St. Louis Grand Hotel. There's the information on your screen. And we have, before we close the show, the information for people to really go onto your website. There's a lot of stuff, photos from your past events, a lot of information, and where people can register.
Yes.
So thank you for being here. This has been really just interesting and really informative for me, because I just didn't know that much about the organization. So thank you.
Thank you
very much for
Sarah.
being here. And thank you at home for watching. If you want more information, you can always go to the Professional Organization of Women to their website. Also check out our website at stltv.net and find us on YouTube as well. Thank you for watching.